Record. All right. So today we're going to talk about 10 foundations for success. And this is really 10 pillars really to look in your business and to try and improve on in hopefully every area of these to really get the best results in business. So number one is philosophy. And probably the most simple way of explaining the philosophy. So it's basically everything that we know. So the accumulation of everything that we know and how we, perceive all of that and how we put it out is our philosophy. So basically, they say that your income is primarily determined by your philosophy. So very often if you're not getting the results you want to have and you're not earning the type of money that you want to earn, it's probably not the government, it's probably not the company, it's probably not your negative family members, etc. It's probably your philosophy. So they say you can only earn the type of money that you think that you deserve. So you cannot earn more than your mind can accept, etc. And success is something that you attract by becoming attractive person. Now, I'm not talking just physically attractive, but also mentally attractive. You will attract serious people if you become serious person who invests in yourself. So that's basically your philosophy and investing in your in learning, etc. Number two foundation for success is attitude. And attitude is basically how you feel. So that's basically all of your feelings and how do you feel on a daily basis, on a monthly basis, on a yearly basis, etc. How you feel about yourself, how you feel about other people, how you feel about the world, your business, etc. So again, some of the diseases of the attitude are like being negative. Negative is normal. It's not great, but it's normal. But we want to make sure that we're not always negative and pessimistic, etc. So one of the great advices is don't be a follower, be a student. Pick up the information from different places, but make up your own mind, right? So if you don't design your own life, the chances are that you will fall into somebody else's plan. And guess what other people have planned for you? Not much. So you want to make sure that you are in charge of your life and you're in charge of your own attitude. Because a lot of people are like the yo-yo. They allow other people and other circumstances to affect their attitude. And, I believe that your attitude is your control tower. So if you allow other people and other circumstances to affect your attitude, and your attitude is like that every single day, one day you're motivated, other day you're depressed, one day you're happy to do business, other day you want to quit the business, then it's very difficult to ride this emotional roller coaster. You want to make sure that you are always in control of your attitude. No matter what happens, no matter what life throws at you, you're always there firm. You know your course of action and nothing can get you out of the course. Number three pillar or the foundation for success is goals. So basically starting to think forward. Because many people, they think backward. They think of all the bad things that happened in their life, of all the failures, etc. Instead of thinking forward, what they want to achieve, what they want to accomplish today, this week, this month, this year, next 5 years, next 10 years, etc. So setting goals is basically, one, is it helps you to have a healthy and prosperous life because it sets a direction in your life. And it's also like a map. When you set goals in written on paper, etc., with whatever you need to do, then it's like a map to plan your future. Like if you were building a house, you would have a project. You would have an architect draw out the pictures, the drawings of your house. Same way when you set goals, that's the drawings of your life that you can follow and build on. Number four is leadership. You see, most people don't lead in their life. They accept their life. They accept their health. They accept their finances. They accept their spouse. They accept everything. They don't lead their life. They don't feel in charge of their life. So again, we need to increase the influence, the direction, prioritizing, and setting agenda for our life. That's the only way how we can lead our lives. And that's the only way we can lead other people. Because if we can't lead our own life, how can we expect to lead other people? So, being with me, even if you don't follow me, why would somebody else follow me? If I don't follow me, why would somebody else follow me, etc. So ask yourself that question: do I feel in charge? Do I feel that I'm leading my life? you know. And it's basically, leadership is a challenge to be more than mediocre, because guess what, the leadership will come with challenges. You know, the more you work with people, the more challenges you have. The more people you have, the more challenges you have. But that's a challenge to be more than mediocre, because if you want to have a mediocre life, then just get a job. That's why, you know, people are surprised why most jobs pay very low income. The reason why most jobs pay very low income, because they are very secure, very not pushing you out of your comfort zone, very easy, no challenges, etc. You know, I mean, not to degrade anybody, but let's say you get a job in McDonald's. How challenging is that job? It's not very challenging. You just go, press the button, give the hamburger, etc. It's an easy job. It doesn't push you out of your comfort zone. It doesn't require you to be a leader, etc. But that's why it doesn't pay very well. I don't know how much they pay McDonald's staff, but probably not very much, right? Because it's a very unchallenging job. But if you are CEO of a company, you can make hundreds of thousands a year. But that job will be super challenging, super loads of problems, etc. But that's really the challenge of being a leader. So leadership is basically influencing people, you know, and the way you influence other people is by adding value to their life or to answer, you know, to their problems, etc. And it's basically having strong relationships, you know, building bonds with other people, where you have relationships that these people trust you, they like you, and they would stick to you. They would go to war with you if required. Okay, number 5 is lifestyle. You know, like I said earlier on, you will only earn what you believe you are worth, right? So lifestyle is basically, you know, getting the feeling that you are worth the lifestyle. You know, so they say that, you know, life doesn't respond to need. You know, those people who need it, not necessarily those who make money. People make money who deserve it. You know, so life responds to deserve and not to need. You know, so think, you know, ask yourself a question. If I'm not making the money right now that I would like to make, how can I deserve more money? What should I do to deserve more money? You know, because it's like basically planting in the spring to harvest in autumn. You can't expect the harvest if you haven't planted the seed. Plant small, harvest small. Plant big, harvest big. So every day ask yourself a question: how can I deserve more? How can I deserve a better health? What do I need to do to deserve a better health? What do I need to do to deserve better relationship? What do I need to do to deserve more money? And in terms of money and business, is basically adding value to other people. The more people you serve, the more money you can earn. Because if you think about it, people who make the biggest money in the world are people who serve most people. So, for example, you know, let's say Steve Jobs, before he passed away, he made a lot of money, etc. Why? Because he, you know, a lot of people have iPhones now, so he serves a lot of people. You know, Bill Gates made billions, and he's gonna probably make even more because his company and his product, Microsoft, serves millions, if not billions, of people every single year. So basically, if you want to make more money, find a way to serve more people, to help more people out. Number 6 is communication. And communication that most people take it for granted, but reality is that we need to study it and hone our skills and practice. We need to become really, really good at communicating with other people. You know, we need to become better listeners. You know, don't treat it casually, as you will become a casualty, right? So people like stories. So make sure you say it and you put the feelings in it. You know, one of the best ways of communicating with other people is through stories. You know, Jesus, who was one of the master communicators in the world, very often communicated through stories, through parables, etc., to pass the point. So same way in our in the business and relationships and talking with children, we can use stories to carry points across and to help people to see things that they haven't seen before. Number 7 is influence. You know, and that's the difference between presentation and persuasion. You know, I've heard one person saying, I used to do a lot of presentation, and people would say, it's absolutely fantastic, your presentation is so great, etc. But then it kept me wondering, how come nobody's buying? Everybody's saying that it's a great presentation, but nobody is buying, because there's a difference between presenting and persuading. So influence is what allows you to persuade people. You know, most people are nice, but you know, there is only few nasty ones around there, but they move around a lot. So be prepared. There's some people are nasty, but a part of them, for most people, you basically need to learn just how to influence them in the right way. And I don't know a better way of influencing people. Yes, there are some strategies and techniques and sales tactics and using certain questions and feel, felt, found, and all of that. But basically, it's educating yourself. The more confident you become, the more you can influence somebody. And the way to become confident is through becoming competent. So the more you learn about your products, your business, and everything else, the more confident you will become, and that confidence will transpire into influencing people. Now when I do a presentation one-on-one, very rarely a person wouldn't sign up in my team. If I book a one-on-one appointment with somebody and I go and present the business, 99% of the time the person is joining my business. Not because I'm such a great presenter or whatever, but just over time, I became so confident that sort of confidence is infectious, and the person feels that, that I come there with an expectation that they will join my business. I don't have a shadow of a doubt in my mind. Number 8 is abundance. And it's basically ability to have the life you want for you and your family, to travel, to see, to do, to experience everything the way you want it to be. So how is it possible that some people earn multiple times what other people earn in the same time? It's because basically they access the abundance, right? So the secret is that those people found a way to add more value to other lives and do more for others. Like I said earlier on, it's all about adding value to other people. So there is no there's no lack. A lot of people have this mentality of lack, that there's not enough money out there, that there's not enough prospects out there, there's not enough people out there. But as we know, the opportunity is unlimited. There's so much money in the world, there's so much wealth, and there's so many people, etc., that it is impossible to run out. But what we need to do is learn how to access that pool, how to access that abundance. They say you can take abundance out of abundance and still abundance remains. So the reality is that there's so much there, and we need to work with our mind to expand it, to understand how huge the world is and how huge the opportunities are and how huge the wealth is, etc. The only thing we need to do is work on our creativity and on our resourcefulness to access that, to find ways to serve people and to access that money and those resources and those people, etc. Number 9 is productivity. So days are expensive. When you spend a day, you have one day less to spend, and we don't have an unlimited amount supply of them. So killing time is not a murder, it's a suicide. So time is invaluable and precious. So that's why we need to treat it as an investment. Busy people value their time and learn to prioritize. They understand that time is very finite, and they learn the best way to use it. The best kept secret of the rich is not genius or brilliance. It is management of time. Rich people and super wealthy people, they know how to manage their time, and they invest it very, very wisely. Life is not just a passing of time. It's a collection of experiences, frequency, and its intensity. One of the reasons why I got into the business was the fact, and maybe why I stayed in the business especially, is because it allowed me to cram so much experience. All of us, we would like to live forever. Unfortunately, at the moment, it's not available yet. I believe that sometime in the future, we will be able to extend our life very dramatically, but at the moment, it's not available yet. So the next best thing to living forever, which we can't access at the moment, is to have more experiences in a shorter period of time. If people normally go once a year on holiday, what if we could use this business to allow us to go 5 times a year on holiday? That's basically, we have as much experience and as much feelings and as much stuff in 1 year that other people would have in 5 years. So if you live 100 years this way, that's like living 500 years for other people, right? So basically, it's getting more experiences in the same time. And I believe that's what our business does. It allows us to meet extraordinary people. It allows us to participate in extraordinary events, to travel the world, to earn the money. And, that money might allow us to do more stuff with our kids, more stuff with ourselves, etc. So basically, having more experiences is like living longer. It's like, by experiencing the different things in life is like extending your life. And I believe that's, the next best thing to living forever. And that's one of the things what really drives me in business, and what really kept me in business. When I saw that, I was like, wow, I'm not making millions yet, but this, look how many people I met this year. Look how many events I've been. Look how many countries I've traveled thanks to this business. I know people who've been in their whole life, they travel to 1 or 2 countries in the whole life. I've been, within the last 7 years, thanks to the business, I've been to Mallorca, to Cyprus, to Indonesia, to Dubai, to Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Ukraine, Russia, Poland, etc., Germany, right? So visiting all of these countries, it has given me so much more experience and things to see, etc. And I believe that's one of the things that drives me in the business and keeps me in the business. And then the last one, number 10, is action. And most important thing with action is start where you are. Don't wait until you get to, until your pitch is perfect, until your presentation is perfect, or whatever. The hardest step is the first step. Everything is hard before it becomes easy. So if you start talking to people, it's going to be hard before it gets easy. If you start running, it's going to be hard before it gets easy. If you start, going on a bike, it's going to be hard before it gets easy. Everything is hard before it gets easy. And one of the good things, and really things that I like, is that 90% of millionaires started broke. So majority, 9 out of 10 people who are worth more than $1 million right now have started penniless, broke, etc. So whatever you are, you can start now and still become a very wealthy person, very successful person, right? But what you need to do is take very heavy action on a good idea. Now, guess what? If you're in network marketing, if you're in a home-based business, you already have the good idea. That's your business opportunity. The only part probably that is missing is the heavy action. So take heavy action on that activity, on that opportunity, and you will have very, very good results. You don't want to wait until you learn 3,000 things, because you will never start. You want to start straight away and learn as you go along, because you may end up very smart and very broke. Just look at the university professors. They have so many degrees, but they drive a 15-year-old Toyota. So they haven't applied the knowledge that they have. They haven't taken action on all of the information that they've gathered, right? So don't let your learning lead to knowledge. Let your learning lead to action. Learn something, implement. Learn something new, implement. Learn something new, implement. And have a mentor who knows the road ahead, and who can show you the ropes, who can tell you about the hazards that are waiting, and who can advise you, on what to do in order to be really, really successful. So that's really the 10 foundations for success. I hope you found them useful. I hope you will be able to implement them in your life and in your business.